So you're back in the league. We've been here before. What differences would you say occur now than then, whether it's quality of ability, speed of play, more professional here?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of big-time transfers have come to the league, in the last couple of years, and obviously that brings a level up, and I think the league is growing in a very good way. So I'm excited to be back.
Hey, it seems like you've been playing mostly on the right. There's a little bit of position change. You played a lot on the left in San Jose. Can you talk about being more on the right wing versus on the left wing, how that changes your game?
Yeah, for sure. I have been playing on the right this year, and it's very, very good for me. I feel like I'm running in behind and getting a lot of good crosses in on the right foot. It is a bit different that I've been, adjusting to because I've always put on the left. But, I think it'll be great for me, and I think it'll be good for the team as well.
Cade, you were in the MLS and then you left to go to Liga MX. And there's always been this stigma about the MLS from La Liga MX. Now that you've been back and forth and now that you're back, what can you say based on what people talk about the MLS when they compare it to La Liga MX?
No, I think it's a very they're two very similar leagues. I mean, you see a lot of players go back and forth between the two different leagues, and it just shows that it's a very similar league, and they're both growing in a very good way. So, yeah, I think it is very similar when it comes down to it.
Cade, you've seen some flashes of brilliance between you and Uva creating a good partnership up front. Just talk about building that relationship with the attacking players like Rubalcaba and Chupo in the early days here.
Yeah, obviously, it's a very new group, and I'm just getting to meet George and Chupo and everybody, and I think we've done really well with how we've connected and built really good chemistry, and I think we'll just keep getting better with it as well.
Okay, you came from a really huge team in Mexico, and what's your spirit? What you can say about that, and what you miss about playing for Chivas?
Yeah, obviously Chivas is the biggest club in Mexico, and the fans were amazing. The club was great. It was a great time. Good 2 years. Obviously, I'm excited to be here now in New York. To start a new adventure. But I'll always have Chivas in my heart, and if I return one day, I'll be very excited to be back.
Cade, I mean, the World Cup is coming up, and there's Mexico, and then also the US. Is there any talks for Mexico national team or the US national team?
Obviously I've been with the U.S. before, and just hoping to be back with them at any time, and I'll just keep working for that.
Cade, right here.
Yeah, I just want to say, outside of Alejandro, not a lot of Liga MX players have gotten a big chance for the U.S. national team in recent years. Did that factor in your decision to come back here? Just kind of that exposure with Pochettino clearly favoring MLS play.
I don't think he's favoring it. I just think there's very little over there. But yeah, it definitely did. I didn't my decision to come here wasn't about that at all. I think wherever it is, wherever you're at in the world, I think if you're doing really well and playing a lot, I think Pochettino will see that. So that's really all there is to it.
What's your first impressions of Michael Brown?
Yeah, I think he's very energetic, works very hard, and he brings a lot of energy in the group every day, and I think we're all feeding off that, and he's a great coach.
Obviously, he was in the league. What was your impressions of him as a player? What do you think of him?
Yeah, obviously as a player, and obviously what he did for the U.S. national team is legendary. He'll always have a name there, and as captain, he's a very good leader. So I think obviously that shows what he can do.
You came out of the biggest Mexican team, and now you're in the biggest market overall in the world, not just in one country. How does that impact your tech and everything that's going on?
Obviously, being in New York now, it's something to definitely get used to. I've always been in California, playing in San Jose, or that's where I grew up playing. So yeah, very excited to be here. Try out the new East Coast ways. It's a lot of new learning projects.
Okay, one of the tangibles that sold you to come to this club, have you learned about it, talked about it, and everything else?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
What are the tangibles that made you come here? Did anyone talk to you about the club and everything? What sold you to come to
obviously when Red Bulls reached out, I was very excited. Obviously they're known for being a very fast transitional team, and for me, I like to play very fast, and obviously being a forward, you couldn't be any more excited to be anywhere else in MLS. So I'm very excited to be here. Obviously with Michael being here as well, that was a big part of it as well. I think I can learn a lot from him and his playing style, and I think it's going to fit me perfectly.
Working with Rubalcaba, and now, of course, some Chupo.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a lot of great players here, and we have a really good team, and I think we're going to do really well this year.
Do you
Cade, we're called the Exchange FC. We talk to players about the exchanges of jerseys that they've had through their career.
Yeah.
Can you mention some that you may have in your closet that you've exchanged with players?
Yeah, I'm obviously not the biggest exchange. Obviously, I'll do it with any of my national team buddies. So obviously, I have Jack McGlynn, Brennan Vasquez. All my really good buddies from the national team. So that's really it. I'm not really big into doing it big time.
Cade, there's been a lot of talk about like a stylistic change for Red Bull in this coming season under Michael Bradley. Based on the 6 matches of preseason and what you've seen in training, just to the best of your ability, how would you describe the playing philosophy and the playing style of the club at this moment?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting year. For us and for the fans as well. I think we're going in the right direction, and we scored a lot of goals in preseason, and we had some really good moments defensively as well, and it's going to be great.
And is there a personal target you might have for number of goals, number of goal contributions this year?
I never really get into that deep, but I always like to score and assist as much as I can, help the team in any way. Some of my best games, I don't really score or assist in, so I think that'll come with it, and just working hard and helping the team in any way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just have a quick shout out to the fans who might be wanting to make the game this Saturday. Just try to get everybody out there.
Yeah, excited to see you all, and I hope everyone can come out and support us.
Hi, Cade. Sean Harden on Sports. For those who don't watch Liga MX season much, Liga MX, how would you describe your playing style and your best attributes? What do you think you're going to bring to the team that fans are going to really relate to?
Yeah, I would say I'm a very fast player. I like to attack a lot and just be as dangerous as possible. And I hope that excites the fans, and I hope the team as much as I can.